like to dive into the process from when you start to have the raw material to getting into a final film, right? Because you gather all of your footage, and then what the hell are you doing with it? It's like it takes hours to go through that, and then like it takes almost the same time like shooting, because you need to watch it all. So how do you make that a smooth process that you don't lose also the gold nuggets in that, right? Because it's easy then to say, okay, this is all like boring, so I like just chop it out, but then maybe you miss some of the important stuff. So how to balance like having not so much time lost watching the rushes. Rushes is it called when you have like raw material. That's like either raw footage or rushes. And then so we will make sure that we get like a broad overview of this material, and then in our mind already like make a little possible edit. So the first thing that is super important is like that we are just keeping ourselves organized. And we start this kind of by, you have like maybe one camera or two cameras, and then you have like a couple of folders. Just a second, I need to charge my laptop. So something that is also very industry approved is to make a couple of folders. And the first one would be footage, which is kind of a raw material. I don't know, which camera did you shoot on? Like an iPhone, right?
Yes, it was an iPhone.
Yeah, so we would call that one iPhone and drop in all of our material here. If you have a second camera, you could call it iPhone 2, so that you have like maybe A or B, or maybe you have a Panasonic whatever, GH4. You just want to be sure it's in there. I never change these names. And this is simply, like some people do change it, and they go into like saying, okay, this is scene 1, scene B. But like for me, I figured out that I just keep it raw, and then eventually I change it inside the editing program. But for some reason, like sometimes, for example, when you have like multiple hard drives or something, and then you plug it into the program, and then you change one file but not all of them, and then the computer does no more like reconnect them. So you think you're clever by being structured from the beginning, but like, I don't know, computers are different than human beings. That's just, and then computers like that. And then, but there's also, you can change them, but then you gotta be consistent and change it for all. And then also change it maybe the day you start to edit, but then after never change them again, right? Because you don't want to be in the editing process and then have a couple of files and then rename them, and then your computer can no more reconnect them. Because it's important that the editing program kind of knows on which hard drive the files are.
Okay.
Right? So you want to make sure that connection keeps just uninterrupted. So we are having one folder for all our video material. And then it's always nice to just click through it and already get like
some of the views I didn't use them.
Yeah. And we have a couple of cuts. I think these colors are already like very beautiful. They're so raw, and they have this nice red backdrop. I like the rawness of them. And we have like just one scene. Yeah. So what we could do now is create like maybe a folder with bad scene, but we keep the files like unchanged. That's how I do it. It worked for me. Yeah. And then we create a second folder, which is assets. Assets would be something like, considering you have like logos or any text files, maybe some images that you want to layer in that are not necessarily part of what you have shot here on the day of on the set or production. Assets could also be music, sound effects. This is kind of what goes here. And this can be flexible. Like, I can send you a folder that I'm always using for this, and it's here in the classroom actually. but it's
Yeah, I
currently
remember it.
private, I guess. It's here. Yeah, it's in how to organize files. And maybe at some point here's the resource, I can download it, and you can also download that. And then you
Yeah,
just
I remember.
directly,
I think I downloaded it and you were like, we're not going to talk about it then, and then you
exactly,
covered it after.
yeah. But this is already actually what I'm doing from scratch now, just so that you can like download it and get started. So we just see what's going on here. Yeah. Yep. And this is a bit tailored for our mini film challenge. So we have the mood board first and the storyboard. And what I'm doing here is just like what I always do for my projects when I also, for example, would not have a mood board, but you can, yeah, as you see, what I want to say is there's a bit of flexibility in that, right? So even if you have like not exactly my process, it's okay. What is important, have all the video material in one folder, have all the assets like music, sound, and maybe special effects, maybe some LUTs. LUTs are for color grading, like presets, all of that technical stuff in the assets. And then the third thing would be a folder which is called project. And what might go into project? You have a guess?
No.
Into project goes.
The film? No?
Yeah, kind of. It's like the file that we're saving in the editing program. Because all of the stuff we're doing inside the editing program will not really affect the raw material. I think this is the first important thing, that whatever you do in the editing program will not change these files. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, they will stay untouched. So all of these little changes that you're doing inside the video editing program, they will go...
You put them in project?
Yeah, they will go into like a file. It's called Premiere Pro. It's, for example, Premiere Project. Yeah, like this. You have a project file, right, with a little Premiere logo. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be project file, kind of. Something like that.
Okay.
Maybe you also have that from Photoshop, right? You're maybe doing some, using Illustrator or some other editing programs where you also have these files and you can all throw them into project. Yeah, asset, footage, project. What also is nice and handy is a folder which is called junk. And into junk goes, maybe you make some little experiments and they don't turn out nice, but they're kind of too good to go, right? There's maybe something in that, maybe like you export like your first rough cut and it's not perfect, but you think maybe in the future there's something in it that we could go back to. And then you put it here. Do you have questions for this structure so far, kind of?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. And then we can just jump to the folder that you can download, which has like as a main folder the project you're working on. Do you have already a film for your, like a project for your film has already a name, the sequence? We can make something up now.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a name for
Not yet.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I saved it as 60 seconds film because I don't have a name for it yet.
It might get a title. It might stay untitled. That's also fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we can jump here. What has become healthy for me was to have like a chronological order for my projects. So I have them not sorted by category, like art film or client film or whatever, because these categories, they're always changing, and then you make up something new every week, and it's, for me, it did not work, so I just have like always years, right? And then I throw the projects in, and that's great. It works really well. And then we have the project name. And this I need to change because it's German. This would be edited and unedited.
Oh.
Yeah, which is a huge thing because these projects can become messy, right? We want to be structured, but the reality of things is, well, maybe things get messy, right? We're like in a rush, and then like we do something wrong, or So here in the project we have that what we just created, which is assets, footage, preview in that sense. Yeah, we could add junk here, which is optional, but it's nice to have. And then following our mini film challenge, you can throw in the mood board, all of the images you gathered here into files. Here's the raw edit, like for example, Pinterest photos, smartphone photos, whatever. You throw it in here, and maybe you also have like some mood videos you've taken, like with the phone. Maybe you did some test shots, or then you can put them here. Yeah. So in a nutshell, this is basically what we have here, right? So considering you would not have the mini film challenge where you can drag and drop the files into the PDF, right? And at some point your projects might become bigger than having like a PDF where you can like easily put it there. Then you can use a folder and just throw it in, right? And then maybe you do an InDesign file, or you do like a big Canva file or something, whatever. We can, if you have questions about that, we can figure out a process that works for you. But I just want to tell you, it does not matter which tool you use. It can be like something that just works for you. Maybe it's notes on the phone. Maybe it's Google Drive. Like, I think it's always nice to just get these toolboxes away and think about, okay, what do I actually need to do? I need to have a folder with some photos in it, and then I need some way to visualize it. And this could be, Canva comes handy for me, like canva.com. You know this program or the website?
Yeah, I do know Canva.
Yeah, I think that's pretty nice because you have it all digital, and then you can export it as a PDF, and then you could export that mood board here after gathering your files, and then you come up with something which looks kind of like the mini film challenge here.
Oh, you did that on Canva.
I did that on Canva, yeah.
That's
nice.
Super nice.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I love Canva. Like, and then, you could just export it and then keep it for your archive either, right? Because usually once you've done the film, you don't check the mood board any longer. But it's still nice to have a reference of your process, right?
Yeah.
And like to store these data. Even if nobody will take a look at it because it's then all about the final film, but for your process, I keep all these files. I love it. Yeah, so here goes the mood board, your inspiration, your process, your notes, your journaling, anything. And then like the storyboard would be like a more elaborated project form. And we go here through, so we gather all of our inspiration, like it's a big chunk of things. And then we nail it down to specific things, the mood board, which you then share also with the people you're working with. You would not necessarily share with everybody your inspiration because it would get them confused eventually, right? And they want clarity. They really want to know, okay, what's happening? Like, when are we meeting? What are we shooting? What should I wear? That's kind of the vibe. And like, therefore we separate the mood board from the storyboard in that process. Questions?
None so far from my side.
Okay. Do you have questions?
No, I just actually wanted to ask something about like creating a website. Can you use Canva to like create your website?
Yeah,
you can, right?
It's not amazing, but you can.
Okay.
It works. Yeah, but then when you want to use your own domain, you need to upgrade it and pay for Canva, I think. Like when you want to use your own domain. But like it works as a first step. It's better than nothing, I would say.
Okay.
But we can find better ways to make a website, and then you, like once you pay anyway, then I think you can just make something that is nice. And yeah, I use for my website or websites WordPress, and it looks like this kind of. And then you can like it's kind of, it's fast and yeah. Or also for the filmmaking journey, I use WordPress, and yeah. You think the website works for you also? How you like it, guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do like it.
Okay.
Oh, you're asking us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like just if it's understandable, maybe we ask you on that. And so we jump back. Let's stay with the editing, and we can get back to the website at another point, maybe next week. I think that's good, because otherwise we get like a bit confused in terms of topics. But we can work on websites. You can use Canva. Yeah. But just for simple stuff. Nothing that has like a real function. It's just, okay, I have a website and here are some videos. It might be a nice start. Does it answer your question?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, where are we going? I close Premiere. So, adding up on that, I know you want clarity, and I know there are some proven principles, but I'm just also here to tell that you gotta figure out your own process in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Having a mood board is super common, and it makes a lot of sense. But even the mood board, right, can be a trap, because you then are like already like so close to the images. So it's still important to not only then see, okay, this is the reference I found on Pinterest, so I make like exactly this. It's still important then to maybe make a drawing, right, of it, and allow yourself to be even then flexible on that. Like, because otherwise you're just repeating what other people are doing, and it's a thin balance between finding a reference that sparks your imagination and one that blocks it. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. But unfortunately, some of us don't know how to draw.
Well, we can use things like Runway. Do you know this one?
No, I have never seen this one.
Runway is really amazing. Or any other AI tool. Let's see if I can log into here now without stress. Yeah, we can make a whole session on Runway. I think that would need a bit more. You can even create videos with that.
Is it like Film AI?
No, it's different.
Okay.
The Runway Academy. Today, we're going to explore creating videos with text to video and image to video.
Basically, you can enter a text prompt, and then it creates an image.
Text and image to video is a very powerful tool that allows you to create videos from text prompts or animate images. From your Runway dashboard, click on the text and image to video tool, and let's start by adding a prompt for a video that we want to create. A man looking out at the ocean as a storm approaches. Next, we can click on the style icon and add a style to our prompt. Or, if you've created a custom style in Runway, you can select that from the Model tab. Finally, we can choose an aspect ratio for our video. From here, if you click on the Generate button, it will generate a video based on your settings and prompt, but you won't know what the video looks like until it's done generating. Instead, If we click on the free previews button, it will allow us to see what the first frame of our video will look like and make tweaks to any of the parameters before we turn it into a video. If you like one of the images, you can click on the Use as Image Input button to continue the video.
And then you can go more into detail and adjust it further. So this could be one way to, then adjust.
To bring my image into life.
Yeah, kind of.
It's not drawing.
Kind of. But even that is dangerous, because then it's still like, this ChatGPT whatever thing giving you the image, but you can translate it a bit and twist it a bit and say make it more blue, or like make it more fun, or I don't know, something like
can tweak it.
Exactly. So that's great for making a mood board. And sketching, it does not need to be perfect, right? You can also just make a little, right? Everybody draws as a child, so you still got this. Like, it does not need to be amazing. It really just needs to be, okay, like I imagine this scene, and then you write next to it that, maybe it's like the bedroom scene, and then you write next to it, bedroom scene. Done. Easy. You can do this. Storyboards are not amazing. They're not, right? Like, let's see what storyboards look like. They're just like this. Anything that serves to.
Oh, I love this one.
Right?
Yeah, that's definitely me too.
No pressure on this one.
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody needs to see them even. Yeah. So we figured out this folder structure, and I really like edited and unedited, because here goes all of the process stuff, including the raw material and the project files and so on. And then when in 5 years we need to get back to the raw editing and change maybe a person or like a scene, we can find all of that stuff here. Then we go to project, open it up. But other than that, we don't want in 5 years to open this folder. What we want to open is edited, where we have like all of our versions, maybe even, right? Because you will edit, like a film is never finished, right? You just say, okay, now it's like that version is like the one, and like it's really like a running gag to have like Final Cut for real, Final Cut 1, Final Cut, now it is really Final Cut. Type it like that. So instead of doing that, I just use version 1, 2, 3 and so on. Because then you don't go crazy about finding the right Final Cut. There's even a production company which is called Final Cut for Real. And they make amazing films there in Copenhagen. They make really beautiful art house documentaries, but their name is Final Cut for Real, and it has a reason. Yeah, like, because that's just, it gets messy. And then you have version 1, 2, 3, and within these you have like, maybe you have one version for Instagram, maybe one for Vimeo, and then like a full resolution thing, right? Maybe you have a trailer or something that you're putting on Instagram, and then you have like one that is converted for web, so you use Vimeo. We will get into converting files correctly, because there are like a couple of things you can do. For example, either you do this directly in editing, or you use a program like Handbrake, where you then can just throw in your file, and then I will just throw in something now. No, we can't. Yeah, this one. Whatever that is. So there are endless options to export files, and we don't want to know about all of them. Something that works is H.264, and it's these ones. So 656564. Both of them work. This is a bit of a higher quality. This is a bit of a lower quality. But I have a feeling going into this is going like too nitty gritty, and it's just getting us away from our original core message. But I just want to open it up to you that there are these options available, which we don't need to do now, but we can get into it at a later point. Because there will be a need to say, I want to upload this video on my website. So we gotta make sure the file size is getting low. And in order to have a low file size, you would use a program that can convert like this and then go to either web and then export it for your resolution. That could do the job. Or you want to use like a codec that just takes this 5 gigabyte file and turns it into 200 megabyte. And this will become handy. And the reason why we were going there is just to illustrate, just a second, why you have, for example, version 3 for Instagram, for Vimeo, and full resolution. So full resolution would be the highest file size you could possibly export in relation to your hard drives, and then it's like maybe 5 gigabyte, and it's really uncompressed, like a raw photograph, right? And then you have one version for Instagram, which is like in the story format, that 9 to 16. And
yeah, the real.
Yeah, exactly. So I have just a couple versions. And here we are. Yeah. Was that too confusing, for the structure? Or you're still with me?
Oh, the putting them in the files.
Putting them in the files, yeah. And then having...
Yeah, no, it wasn't too confusing.
Yeah, having a couple of versions and then...
Yeah. No, I got it.
Instead of naming it like dates or even final version, you just always want to have version 1, 2, 3. And you can download the project. All of the stuff that is finished goes into edited. All the stuff you're working on and in the process goes here. Here goes the mood board files. Bring them in. Bring your Canva files in. Bring your PDF in. Close it. Go to the next chapter. Go to storyboard. Throw in all of your scribbles and like a Canva file, maybe as a PDF that has the final storyboard. Bring it here for later. And then we go here into the files that we will work in the editing program. So I will do this now with your footage so that we can really see how that works in action. So we are here, and I will just get now your footage of the iPhone bed scene, and we put that here into a footage folder. Right, so we're here, we have the bed scene. Nice. And in this example, we would already have your storyboard and your mood board.
Yeah, and your mood board, yeah.
And the next thing we would do is we open DaVinci. And DaVinci is actually super easy and organized. So we just click here on New Project. Clear?
Yes.
And then we call it 60-second test film. And click on Create. So far, so good. So we have a couple of things that are important here. The first important thing is that this is the timeline. What would you say a timeline is doing?
Showing you how long the film is.
Yeah, and it goes from left to right, and here we have like second 0, and there we have like, I mean, you've edited already, right? You can like go into the infinite space until to 100 hours if you want. And
yeah.
So in DaVinci you have a couple of different windows. You have like a media section, which is kind of like showing you all of the files on your computer, and it gives you like a big overview of all you have. Then you can edit like a rough cut and you can do a fine cut, you can do effects on it, you can do color grading, you can do sound effects and delivery. So here, this would be also a way to, for example, do like a version for Instagram, do a version for Vimeo, do a version for YouTube, and so on. And the reason why I said in the first place that editing programs, I'm not gonna show you how to use like all of the specific ones, because for us it's more important how to really take that footage and then make a film out of it. So all of these buttons here, whatever, you just, if you're stuck, you can ask me or check a YouTube video, right?
Okay.
Like it's all there, like, and that these programs change every 2 weeks, and it's not important. The framework is just, we have like unedited video material that is like a couple of files. Imagine you have a table and there's like real film stripes, right? From back then when they were shooting on film cameras. So you have just like these long film stripes and you want to cut them, shorten them. That's the mindset. It's like all of these buttons. Yeah. It's really
That's basically all I do.
But it's still important to know, so we can, we can still do it. But all we want to do is we find our project and
info tape.
Yeah. Like either you take all of that files if the storyboard is important. Yeah, we could do that. So we just, let's see if that works. So when you drop in any file into your program, it automatically checks what camera it was shot on, and then like if it's an iPhone, like it just adopts the right project settings.
Okay.
Because you can shoot, for example, with a couple of cameras, and then you want to select the camera that you chose or shot most of the footage on. And then you want to make sure you drop in that first, because it then just accepts, okay, iPhone it is, and then maybe you have like a second phone that it was like a Samsung or something, and then it says, no, we stick with the iPhone resolutions, because it's just easy, because there can go a lot of things wrong when you have the wrong project settings. So drop it in and then say change project frame rate, change it. So we're good. And yeah, it just did not import the so gotta recreate this. And here you have your master. You can select the folder you're in. Yeah, it takes a bit of trial and error. So, and then we go away here, we go to master, and new bin, sequence, new bin, assets, new bin, project. And then we export the project into, we'll just put it into the desktop and then drag and drop it. So then go to your file. Bring it into the project folder. So then when we go to project, we have the DaVinci file in project. Ta-da! Yeah. And then we directly go to the bed scene, and you can select. So we want to watch it through, And then before putting any files into our timeline, we can set in and out points. So we say maybe this is not interesting, but then we click on I for like I for in. And then did you see that mark happening here?
And then can you do it again?
Yeah. All right, now I click O for out. So in and out. And then if you see it just made a mark here.
Yeah.
So now we have two little circles here.
Yeah.
That means if I now drag and drop that file, it's very small, then it's not gonna bring in
what's that audio?
The ball, or was it a question? Yeah, it's a phone. Okay, gotcha.
Sorry, I was like calling.
Yeah, life is busy. So you can just, assuming you have like 400 hours of footage and you really don't want to watch it, then you just say, okay, I really just go very fast through this and say, yeah, okay, this is maybe interesting. So in, marked, out, and then you go to the next one. Okay, this scene I don't need, but this is nice here. This smooth transition from inside to outside. So I go to in for in, and then we cut maybe here for out, and then I don't know how to show it, but you have like, you see my mouse cursor?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then here is a point now, and there is a point now. And if I drag this here, that's gonna extend. And if I drag this there, that's gonna extend. But then also the video material is gonna be more, that's gonna be in the timeline. But if I go here for just this point, press I for in and O for out, then it's already pre-shortened. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Or are we moving too fast? You gotta like tell me
No, I think I'm getting it so far, but if I ever do try and I don't understand,
you will message me.
I'll just ask you.
Do you have the need that we go to the whole program and I just give you like a very short overview of what is happening in the program? Would it be a good idea?
Yeah.
So I will try to do it really simple, but as a good overview. And I will try to, so that you really can ignore all of it looks complicated, it is not. Okay? So, the most important thing that is happening here is our project preview, which is this one. Here we can see the video material we have, and it's kind of the final film we're working on. And then the second most important thing is this timeline here, right? So we can move the cursor and watch the film. Left, we are at the beginning, and towards the end, we go to the end of the movie. So we have here the editing table, so to speak, right? We have let's think of editing table, video editing, or film editing table.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to make sure what we're focusing on or what we're doing here is sequencing. Is that what we're doing?
Well, right now we just try to get a feeling for this whole editing process, and we just found now the nice old school thing going on here, right? You have like these, you see these tapes? That's our timeline.
Yeah.
Kind of. Like actually like the real timeline would be a table where you cut the film stripes, right? Like when you maybe we find a photo, something like that, right? Like you're going through the films and then you cut the perfect images together.
Yeah.
This is the table that represents here this timeline. And every little cluster we have here is like a film stripe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good. And then what you have here at this monitor, kind of, is this thing here.
Mm-hmm.
The thing where the video is getting played. And just imagine back then how really complicated that process was, because you needed to, like, you have this big table and then it's dark and people smoke inside and then they're like cutting this thing and then you need to bring it into this wheel. And then so we are very fortunate that today we just can open DaVinci for free and do all of that with a little click. It's amazing. So let's make use of that. We're living in really good times for that. And so here we have this monitor. Let's go back to, where did I put my, no, here? Yeah. Yeah, here we have the monitor, which is this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And all of that stuff would be a big archive of film rolls. Like imagine maybe something like this, right?
Mm.
Yeah, this is our corner here, where we have all the stuff. And then that's why we want to make sure that's all organized, right? And we want to just know which of the roles is where, and then that's here, right? We have like our film rolls, unedited. We're good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, film roll archive, editing table thing, little old school video preview where we can just play and then we watch the film. So here we can just select the raw materials that we're having and then also even preview it without having to plug it into a computer. So amazing. And here we have the editing table and the preview thing. All of that stuff on the right corner is a bit of a little effect thing. So let's, for example, say we want to maybe change the opacity when we can turn it in and out. We can, let's say maybe the lens was, we can't do this here. We can zoom in, for example. So we can manipulate the image a bit. And there's even a thing which is, where you can select when you want to move in. So let's say I press this button for the keyframe and then zoom in a bit, and we can have this zoom. So you can do a lot of effect things that we will go into detail when we feel the need of having an effect. But for now, we just remember preview, monitor, editing table, raw archive thing, and we can already edit. So, here, did you ever use Photoshop?
No.
No, actually, I haven't.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yeah. So because in the top you have a big menu. For example, in the DaVinci Resolve section, you can change preferences for the program, like the media input, where the files are coming from. And the best thing for you at this point really is to simply and very gracefully ignore most of the things that you see inside the program, and the only thing we want to do is throw in a bit of footage here and then make sure we select the nice cuts by pressing in and then out for the things we want, so that we can just shorten a bit. And then bring it all into our project timeline. Gotta do this one. And here we can edit it. Yeah. And then once we are done with editing, we can either correct the color a bit or simply go to exporting. So I just realized, and you need to help me on this, is DaVinci for you at this point maybe a bit overwhelming?
No.
No, you're good?
For me.
Yeah, because I know it looks complicated, but I really assure you all of these editing programs are the same. Like just like Final Cut, they remove like a couple of detailed things where you're not able to control it as much. So all of the stuff you're seeing, it just is meant to give you actually control and security, but like it also gives you just, you know, so many buttons, right? Like, but let's keep it simple. You have a preview, you have a timeline, you have raw footage, you have a bunch of stuff you can control. When you are in doubt, check YouTube or ask me. Yeah, that's the approach. I check YouTube, right? Because yeah, I do. Like when I don't know something, then it's, yeah, no, I don't care which program I work on. Every program is a bit different. You have different shortcuts for it. You have different, yeah, ways of, and then they change it every 2 years. It's frustrating. Like, so let's forget that and we focus on making a film. And nobody is perfect with these things. And then, yeah, it's always, I'm also still learning every time I make a film, and then I want to maybe remove a certain distortion, and then this can be like very nitty gritty to find the right plugin, the right tool, and that's why we figure it out while we go. And then every time you just expand like your vision of what you are capable of, and then when you don't know it, you figure it out how. And yeah, so going back to this, I will delete this and now go to editing the way I would edit it when I would get that footage from somebody. So the first thing is that I would talk to the director about the vision and kind of the intentions. And then I would look at it with like my eyes and try to see it through my perspective, so that we can find maybe things that the director is not seeing, and listen carefully to what is there that the director wants to tell and amplify that. So I'm just here now to listen and like ask you, what was the intention maybe behind, or is there like a certain emotion that needs to be conveyed? You had a ochre brown for the color grading, right?
Yes. The sort of theme for it was more like university students, how they spend their life most of the time. Like people just don't get up; they're like laying in bed. That's mostly it. But the theme for it was like brownish, a bit cloudy, sad, sort of.
Yeah. Let's assume inside that room there was a radio. Which music was playing?
Sad music.
Do you have a specific song in mind?
I don't have. Okay, Okay, I think I do have, but the song I have that's popping up in my head is not sad. What is it? It's called "Fuck I'm Lonely." Yeah.
Let's listen to it.
Okay. I think it's by that's one.
This one?
Yes.
It's not so sad, is it?
I don't know why that song, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but there's nothing like it's.
No, there's nothing wrong because also students go through a lot of breakups, so
but there's a certain isolation then happening there. Right?
Yeah.
We're like
maybe the theme of loneliness of the song is what reminds me.
And we're still connected through this phone, right? Because you have like this dialogue with somebody, or like, you know, maybe you're checking something, so you're actually not alone but still isolated. And I think this is like this tension between how we have a change from the meaning of communication, going from, you know, two people in a room to two people distance chatting, and then there's this, because we're all so connected, and then still
and being at uni, you don't having like your normal friends, your family around, like the support that you used to can be very lonely.
So you would even say that you're kind of, did you have like a change of school or something at that point? Right, so you gotta make a new social circle, and then these things take time, and then the transition point, so it's also like a moment of transition, no, from one life phase to another. And then I think that film could need a bit of silence, right?
True.
We have, or by silence I don't mean even that it's like no music playing, we can include music. I just think like of empty spaces also, right, where we're like not having a lot of action happening. So we want the viewer to feel that loneliness in some way, and kind of work
sort of
with
like
this.
a pause.
Like
a pause.
Yeah, like a pause.
Okay.
Or you know, just maybe stay with one image that is like too long, even, where you're like, okay, when are they cutting? Like that's getting tense, right? You want to make them feel that tenseness in some way. Like maybe 30 seconds just staring at a phone or something, and then nothing's happening, but like then you're like the viewer watching the film, then he really thinks about, man, nothing's happening, like, right? And then like that feeling that you have where you're like, I want to break out of that. It's like like chewing gum that you drag, and then so
may I
please,
can I say something?
Of course.
Maybe instead of even thinking of music, we could just have like ambient surrounding noise.
I would love that.
Yeah, like the sound of the phone, the sound of the trees rustling, and you know how we stay and doom scroll for hours when maybe like multiple videos, just going through multiple videos to give that feeling of like you're just doing nothing and you're doom scrolling and you're stuck in this rut.
I think that sounds great. How do you feel about having music versus no music? Like,
no, it is good, because also when I was shooting it, I didn't want sound. Like I didn't want a dialogue over it or something like that, just to ponder on the loneliness. But then also there was weird sounds from when I was shooting, so I just could like set music over it.
Yeah.
But I love her idea.
Yeah, we can keep both ideas. So that's why we have, like, when we export multiple versions, right? We're having like, we want to keep all of these ideas always. And then that's also why we have this folder junk, right? Where we have like maybe an idea that might be something, but we put it there for later maybe. But it's not like in our main, vision. We have it like somewhere in the back, right? Where you're like, that's good, yeah. And what I think is that it might also be interesting to work with sound that are actually misplaced in the scene. So that you're like not having the sounds, I'm brainstorming now, right? You're not showing the sounds that you would expect, but you're showing maybe a sound that is like totally wrong there. But then have it like very silent. Like we can just experiment. In order to get sound, there's a platform which is Epidemic Sound.
Oh yeah,
it's
I've
great.
Seen this.
And if you don't want to pay for any sound, you could just go to YouTube and Google for whatever, siren sound, and then you have like you will add royalty free. This means that it's free to use, and then you just go here and oh my god, yeah, some of them are really bad. So you gotta make sure to find something, but there are also very good ones. So that's why.
There's also a website called freesound.org.
Oh yeah,
that's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. And also there's archive.org, which you can use, where a lot of people upload audios. Yeah, but here it's always not necessarily free because people just upload it. But truthfully, if you have like a sound effect in your film and you use like a siren, nobody will notice. Like it's pretty secure. Like as long as you don't use like Michael Jackson and then publish it like or something like where like hyper royalties on it, then you're good. And yeah. So let's go with, for this example, Epidemic Sound, and yeah, I mean, this is an example, right? So
I can hear your sound.
You can't hear it? Okay, then I will send it to the group here.
Okay.
Thing there. Yeah, but it's a very fun process to explore this world of sound also, because we always think of filmmaking and then we're like, oh, it's the image, but like it is like an audio-visual experience. So really the visual is like 50% of the audio-visual thing, and then with sound we opened like a whole new dimension to the thing we're watching. And you can have like very bad videos or like low quality videos, but then you have, in terms of the resolution, right? Maybe you shoot it with like a shaky phone, but then you have this amazing sound, and like you're still, yeah, it's not getting boring. Bad sound is worse. If you have like, imagine watching a 2-hour film, it's like noisy sound and you don't understand anything. Nobody wants that. No? You're like,
yeah, true.
So let's make sure the audio is taken into credit and gives the attention it deserves. And then we will download it. WAV is a bit bigger, MP3 is a bit smaller. Yeah.
Okay.
I will download WAV now. So where do you think are we putting our test sound file?
Into didn't we have a music project?
Yeah.
And a project?
Yeah.
We had music, right?
Yeah. We have here in project, we have in assets, we have music.
Assets.
Yeah, almost. Like you will figure it out.
Yeah.
And then if you change the structure, you change it, but just make sure it's organized. We put it here, music. And then we could even create like epidemic sound for it, but it's not important. I gotta say I just put it into music. I don't create like a second folder, epidemic sound, but yeah, you could do that if you're like if you're better than, or like have a better structure. So I throw that into our assets here. Yeah, and then I create here also. So we want to make sure these are always kind of the same.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we have now sound effect in it, which you can't hear, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's birds.
Okay.
Yep. If we have footage missing that we don't have, we can still find, for example, I will keep that open, maybe we need it. Stock, that guy. Stock footage, sky.
The created that class.
There's a great downloading tool for video, which is Cobalt Tools. I mean, I use it to download my YouTube videos and so. Yeah, and then we have, I just downloaded a video file from YouTube, and then I create a folder, stock footage, in my footage folder. Drag drop here. Yeah. Yo, now we also need thunder. So we go back to epidemic sound and we go for thunder sounds. So where's our little search engine? Here. Thunder sounds. Wow, that's dark. Yeah. Yeah, we can also select them together. I will share so yeah, and then you can listen to them and then we choose one together.
What? Doesn't want to open.
Okay. Then I just choose one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And we download it. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, this is more to illustrate the importance of sound. And yeah, should we be editing a real like film, then we would choose probably like a couple, maybe 2 hours, selecting like an archive of sounds. But today we just want to get an overview of the program and not get hung up on details, and then we can get back to it to make it perfect once we all have a feeling for what's going on in the. Yeah, I'm semi good at multitasking. I try my best, but like project, we go to assets, sound effects.
Yes.
I just think this is we want to go to this folder here. Sound assets. Here we go. Here we just drag and drop it here. Epidemic sound. Boom. And then back to our editing program. Beautiful. Wow, yeah, it's dark. Yeah, we might need more lightnings. It's just one sound. And we can just create get a couple of them. We'll just download them. Yeah, I think now you get a feeling why it's important to stay relatively organized, because you gather so much stuff, and then when you just have it in downloads, it's not fun. Yeah, so that goes to epidemic sound. Here we are. And then I'll just close iTunes and go back to the editing program. Throw it in here. Yep. And we are luckily having that. What is this? This goes into footage, iPhone, new bin, stock footage. And then we put that here, bad boy, and so as you can see, the great thing about these timelines is that you can edit multiple clips and audio files above each other. Right? So you have not only one thunder, no, we have however how many we want.
3 sounds.
This will do it for now. You won't believe it, but it's a real job people have to only do the sound design. And
I do believe it.
Yeah, funny side quest is also that you have a thing which is Foley artists. And back then, when you could not do the epidemic sound thing, you had people you have actually still have it, but they were finding the perfect sound for films based on whatever. So you could maybe have cracking ice sound, but then it would be just somebody with an aluminium foil standing there and doing something, and they would really freak. It's it's an art form. It is really impressive, and they have dedicated their life to finding the perfect sound. We are gonna be dedicated, but in a way that we will probably go with epidemic sound. But if you have some motivation for that, it's nice to go out just with a microphone from your phone, record some of the audio yourself, and play with that, and just experiment with this new world of sound, which is so amazing. And maybe it's a bit like with the stock photos for mood boards, right?
Yeah.
You have the same thing, you can use all of these amazing sound effects online, but then they're still going to be different when you record it themselves. It will be different. And the question is it always needed? Probably not. Will people notice? Not consciously, but if you have a certain intention or something, then you can play with that. And all of these little differences stacked up, they make a difference in the whole body of your practice. Attention to detail is important. But for this session today, because we want to get so many informations done, compressed so quickly, we will just throw it in, but usually we'll tweak it more, but also at the end of your edit. Then you will go into the details, and making the rough cut, you just want to get a broad overview. Imagine somebody's making a marble sculpture, and they're spending so much time only fixing the nose, and they have a beautiful nose, but the rest of the body just looks very crooked, and some elements are unfinished, and then you have a head that is this big, and you want to make sure to get a whole first rough idea, and then we go to details. Yeah, that's why you do a rough cut. And when we go to the editing program, DaVinci Resolve is so nice to have us made an extra section just for the rough cut, where you have like, you know, if you would have like a 3-hour film, then here in the top there would be like a miniature view of the film, and you see it has less detail. For example, you don't have the audio that you can see here, right? You just have like a couple of things and then a close up here, but it's less detailed. It's like just also it zooms super fast. So that's where some people make the rough cut. We have a very short sequence, so we just go right into. So could you summarize what we've done so far?
The whole thing.
Not the whole thing, just the whole, what you took so far from it.
Okay, so need to be very organized so that I know what everything that I need is. And also I've learned the DaVinci thing. I've not used it before. I tried downloading it before, but when I saw it, it looked very complicated. But I see that it looks like all the other editing. Yeah. Like iFilm, it looks like all of them. Yeah.
Just more buttons. Yeah.
Yeah. And where I can get sound. Okay, I did know a pick thingies, but yeah, sound for storyboards. I can also draw. I should draw, even though I don't know how to draw.
Please draw.
But I'll try.
Yeah.
You're an artist, though.
I was not always.
It's your job.
You become one, right? And then everybody makes sketches, and they're all great. And yeah, you gotta make really bad work before you make something nice.
If I turn into an artist out of this, I'll know you are a miracle worker.
You probably will if you get started. And if you like the process, and if it's fulfilling to you. And if not, then that's also something. You can just check, okay, it's not for me. But I think you are one already. So it's just gotta like work it out and continue doing it, and then, take small steps to,
Okay.
Yeah, but that's a different topic. Like, you can be a video editor that is like not an artist, right? So today we're really focusing also like on the craft process of all of the technical stuff. And if you prioritize
the one that I said I didn't like the most.
Yeah. But like, okay.
Yeah, but it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult as you can. Obviously, you're gonna walk through it with us, so it doesn't seem very difficult. That's why I'm like, yeah. I'm not saying because just to be like dismissive, but I do understand how you're explaining it.
That's great. So we gotta be organized, focus on the work, not of the technical stuff. Then if we need technical stuff, we find a way, ask somebody, figure it out, check YouTube, whatever. There are options, right? And then, the most important part is the story.
Yeah.
And then the rest will solve. It's a consequence of what you want to say.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Talking about paintings, there are really badly made paintings that are amazing. Yeah.
Abstract.
In terms of craft or, and then there are like very precisely made paintings, but somehow they don't convey that thing. They're just like, technically perfect, and but that's a different topic.
Art is definitely beauty is in the eye of the beholder, because there's some art that you just look and you're like,
not.
But other people are like, that is artist. That is beautiful.
It's super subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's important to keep it open, right? So that, because if it would be just like one thing, and then it would be like a fascist thing, like it's just like one way of doing it. But like the truth is, you can do like, you can do it many ways. And then, but that's we're going so off topic. Let's stay on our project theme today, which is getting the
editing.
Yeah. So today we're really craft people, and or we are at least, right? We know, depending on the role you want in your filmmaking journey, kind of as a director, you are wearing like many hats. So you want to get like the 20% of editing right that solve like 80% of the outcome. And this is what we're focusing today. Like the plan of today's session is not to make you like a DaVinci expert that gets hired by directors to edit for them. If you want to do this, then probably then you won't become like a filmmaker yourself, but you will be like a person that edits film, which is not a bad thing, by the way. So the question, if you want to be the person who's like in charge of the story, in charge of the whole, carrying the thing from A to Z, this is a decision that will figure itself out. And then during that process, maybe you discover, hey, I would rather be the person who is responsible for the sound. And then, but this is very film industry specific, and like the agenda for what we want is to make a film and get into all of the departments. So we will just do a deep dive through the program. And what I do is I can edit, but I have an editor that I collaborate with, who's then, I give him the rough cut, and then he's doing the color grading and the LUTs, and that's why it's just I think it's a lot of computer time. So for me personally, I would rather be the person that goes out, shoots stuff, brings it home. So that's my vibe. And then and some people really like to spend all day in the computer, but I get frustrated. I get like a bit like irritated. So
zero patience.
But I do also editing jobs where I get hired, but it's nothing that I do as my main mission, kind of. So that would be we can talk
and
about...
I'm sure it's not as difficult as editing a film.
Sorry, again?
I'm saying if you get jobs, I'm sure it's not like something as big as editing films.
Yeah, no, it's like more like little gigs and commercials, and they're like, they come and go, and it's a different time pace. So, but anyway, it's not about me. We want to get back to what we're doing here. And so far we made this little connection between the analog editing world, where you have the monitor and the timetable, and this is also a nice way to think about it, even if we're working digital, because in order to be like productive, we want to edit the film as if we just had like one cut, because the truth is, back then you were editing the film, it's done, right? You can't like really like reconnect it, and this gives us like a certain consequence in our decision making. If you ever had like done photo on an analog camera, you're a bit more aware of what you're shooting versus on a digital phone. Right? You're like, really, okay, I got like 24 films, so okay guys, smile or don't smile, whatever, but you're thinking more, instead of like being with a digital camera and being like taking hundreds of photos and then going to sort it all out later. So having this framework in your mind that is like the decisions you make have an effect, that's nice. Because then you're like, really, okay, what do I actually want to convey with that? And you're not just clicking buttons, but you're kind of, intentionally driven by that. So we go back. We have our audio. And now I found this stock footage that is just a test to set the mood and the tonality, because you were talking about having like a darker scene. And you were saying that day it was not raining, right? As far as I can remember, and you wanted that rain. So let's just find something dark and stormy, and and bring that from YouTube, and then we find some rain sounds. So we go to epidemic sound, and we go for rain sound. That's nice. I'm also a fan of making... I need to shut that down. Making quick decisions. Like, even if it's not perfect, it's better that we go ahead and then we can still change it later. But like the first goal is to have a watchable film. kind of. This is the main goal. And then we can go back, that sound does not work, that image does not work. But the worst thing that can happen is that you like procrastinate on decisions, and then you're not having like a film to watch, because as soon as possible you want just something to export to show it to other people. And then gather feedback from them.
Yeah.
Or just watch it yourself on a screen and So we go back to our sound effects and dump in the rain into epidemic sound, and then we dump in that sound into music. Here is it. Or dump it here. And then here we go. Yeah, there it is. So we were talking about silence, right?
Yes.
And I think a nice thing could be to have like an almost dark image for some time through that. Which is just with sound maybe. And I'll change that clip speed to 50%.
That looks beautiful.
It's a pity that you don't have the
I
audio.
can hear it also. I'm just thinking it looks so beautiful. I wish I could hear the sound.
Yeah, I mean, how could we do this? I could export it, but what we will do probably is, that I export it at the end. But just imagine rain, thunder,
lightning, birds.
Yeah, it sounds nice. It sounds really nice. And like, why I faded up from black is that you always want, when you're having like, for example, a new action happening, then you want to be it black, and then you want to fade it into some color. And then, for example, if you're having like the same room and you just want to like you have two shots, you want to connect them, then you would use like a blur, which is like, it just makes the viewer stay in the same place. And once you fade like to black, then it's like a new place happening. Right? You're like, okay, new location. Like, okay, fade to black, new location. And like dissolve transition, which is like the fade, we're staying mentally in the same space. So it's great to think about the editing also in ways of, structuring the location and the space and the... Make sense?
Yes.
You can direct the viewer kind of also by the editing a lot.
Okay.
And so we start kind of the film, so we don't want to just throw them into our scene. We want to, give them some space to wander. Like you open a book and the first page is like intentionally left white or blank. And then I think after that I would then see which of them I like. Did you have a favorite of these?
I think this one, the one that goes into,
This one or that one?
This one.
Yeah.
Where does it start? Can you start it?
Here.
Yeah, I think, this one.
Yeah.
I think this was the one I used, and then I disregarded all the other three. I didn't use the other two.
Hey, can you do me a little favor? Do you have your phone? Do you have your phone next to you?
Yes.
Yeah? Could you just tell like improvised, voiceover? Maybe even in your mother tongue language. Just describe what happened that day in the morning. We can turn off the audio and we give this some time, but I think like adding a voiceover would be a great introduction to the film.
You're asking me to do a very difficult thing.
Okay, then what we do, we don't make it about you, but we use, like just for now, usually I would take like a couple minutes to think about a real dialogue, but it's getting also like late, so we
getting super late.
Yeah, so we use Claude to edit a voiceover, and then you read that. So develop a short script or a short voiceover for a film that deals with the difficulty of being connected through social media, yet isolated as a young student that recently this is very improvised. I would not do this usually, but okay, we just need 10 seconds. You can use any of this that you feel comfortable reading out, and if you feel pressured by this, then we skip it. I just thought it would be nice to have a voiceover. Yeah,
it would be super nice. Can you do this quasi?
Can we do?
Hello?
Would you mind recording a small voiceover for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Should I read this out?
Yeah, you can do it either in English or in your mother tongue language. I think it's nice to have it in the native language also. But yeah, with subtitles. I think it adds like a interesting. But we can do it also in English. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do English.
Okay, let's do English.
How can I zoom this in? Sorry.
You can go to the messages, to the in-call messages.
On school?
Yeah. No. On the call.
All right.
Oh. On the messages. Oh, did he type this out?
Yeah, he sent it in the on.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
and then must I read it out loud now or just record it on my phone?
You can pause your audio and, you know, mute it so that you're not disturbed by us, and then record it on the phone.
Oh no, I don't have to pause the audio.
Okay, however you feel, yeah.
Record voice memos. Sorry.
Is it better here to read?
No, I see it. Don't even worry about it.
Okay,
I see it on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I've posted 3 times today, gained 12 followers, commented on 27 posts, and still nothing has changed. Yesterday, I wandered this new neighborhood again. The rain had been building all day. You could feel it in the air, that heaviness. When it finally broke, I stood under that old bookstore awning on 9th Street, watched everyone scatter, no umbrellas, no preparation. I took a video of the downfall. 42 likes so far. Someone from home commented, "Looks magical." That's all I see, sorry.
Let's see where.
That's all I see.
No umbrellas, no blah 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 blah. So
it looks magical.
Let me post the rest. I don't know where that has been stuck. Well.
Okay, cool.
So we just continue here.
Oh, okay, must I continue? Looks magical. Let me press. It wasn't. It was just water falling while I stood there, watching strangers rush past, wondering if anyone would notice if I just disappeared. My phone kept buzzing, weather alerts, messages, and group chats I barely participate in anymore. The screen glowed brighter as the sky darkened. Funny how being constantly connected makes the silence between notifications feel that much louder. Okay,
you did an amazing voiceover reading that out.
Thank you so much.
It was really beautiful. Almost like a performance.
It really was.
Thanks. I made a lot of mistakes, but thank you.
It was great, yeah. How do you feel about the contents of the text? Would you like to enter that into your film?
Yeah.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
So we can work with that then. Yeah, like maybe if you have like an option to send me the thing to my email or something. Maybe email is easy, or school or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were asking me to. I don't like listening to my voice.
Of course, nobody likes. I get you so much. Yeah. That's.
But Cliffy, thank you so much.
Yeah, and it was like, it's
no
more,
worries.
Yeah, it's more neutral when it's not your work, right? And it's like, but still, it was really, I felt it. It was nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
So let's embed that into our film.
jmkoleki@gmail.com.
Yes, please. Yeah, do that. Hey, there it is already. No, it's not.
Thank you for me.
Did it send? Sorry, I didn't get your email, Tabi.
No, you don't have to send it to me.
Okay. I've sent it.
Okay.
You're probably gonna have to edit some of the mistakes.
Yeah, we just shortened that.
You know.
Emails are, takes a long time. Strange. But the mail works. Yeah, and I just sent you also that production company because they have very beautiful films. We can,
The final cut. Okay.
They are doing
final cut for you.
Yeah, they're doing great works and all like documentary films and very beautiful.
Sorry, I didn't add the C to your surname. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, this is the right one now.
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, like, if I, like, do you have any questions that we can, I don't think so, no, we talk a lot today, so let's just, yeah.
What time is it there, Jonas?
It's 10 before 8, it's okay, yeah, I'm good. Okay, that seems dangerous, that's okay, let's download.
I've posted 3 times.
Wow, it's great audio quality. How can I download that? Let's see. Why is it not downloading? Sieht sicher aus. Yeah, okay. So we have a new asset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we put it into a voiceover. So we gotta create a new folder. Voiceover here. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, and then we could even say like bad scene. No, because we would have that written down in a storyboard somewhere, ideally, how the scenes are called so that it's always the same, right? When we're like bad scene, then voiceover for bad scene, and for the other thing is bad scene footage, and then
Are we gonna do the whole thing today? Because
I think so. Like I would love to, but we can also do a second session if you need to go.
I think we should do because it's almost 9 on our side. We are like at 1 hour.
Yeah.
And you have stuff to do tomorrow, right? And maybe to prepare also other things. So what I would do is now then, in that case, that we embed the voiceover and I send it to what we have done today, and then we cut. It will take like 5 minutes or something. Should we do that?
Okay.
Then we can watch it together, and then we have like a, light, nice ending. And so I will just listen to this once.
I've posted 3 times today, gained 12 followers, commented on 27 posts, and still nothing has changed. Yesterday,
So I won't change a thing. I will just put in some pauses.
Yesterday, I wanted this new neighborhood again. The rain had been building all day. You could feel it in the air, that heaviness. When it finally broke, I stood under that old bookstore awning on 9th Street, watched everyone scatter, no umbrellas, no preparation. I took a video of the downfall, 42 likes so far. Someone from home commented, "Looks magical." That's all I see, sorry. Let me press. It wasn't. It was just water falling while I stood there, watching strangers rush past, wondering if anyone would notice if I just disappeared. My phone kept buzzing, weather alerts, messages, and group chats I barely participate in anymore. The screen glowed brighter as the sky darkened. Funny how being constantly connected makes the silence between notifications feel that much louder. That much louder. Notifications feel that much louder.
Okay. Just give me a bit and then But also, if you need to run earlier, just let me know. But I think I got it in a second, okay? We have this much time, guys?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. We almost have similar times. We are just one hour ahead of you.
I've posted 3 times today. Gained 12 followers. Commented on 27 posts. And still, nothing has changed. Yet.
Oh, Kwezi.
Yes, doll.
Where are you from in Cape Town? I'm visiting Cape Town this year. That's my one goal. I'm coming to Cape Town this year.
Is it your goal? The thing is, my friends and I want to go to Joburg.
You want to come to Joburg?
Yes.
Come to Joburg on this side. Come to
Joburg.
I'll be here for the whole year.
You know that train that they're planning on introducing that runs from Cape Town to Joburg for 400 rand?
Oh, yes.
It's going to run for like 3 days. We want to do that. Hopefully they introduce it this year and our government does it to support us. And they introduce us it this year. So my friends and I are going to like take that trip and go to Joburg. But sure.
I want to come to Cape Town. That's my one goal this year. I need to go to Cape Town.
We're making it a December thing. When do you want to come here?
December.
So we won't catch each other either way.
We literally miss each other. I go to Cape Town, you come to Joburg.
Are you just studying in Joburg? Or
I am studying in Joburg. I'm a Free State girlie.
You're a Free State girlie, Bloom?
Yes.
Where in Free State?
My sister, I'm not Blom. In a very tiny small town.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Cape Town girlie, but you could say I was born in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape.
Oh.
Yeah. But I moved here when I was 5, so it's like I'm a Cape Town.
You are a Cape Town. You are a Cape Townian.
I'm a Cape Townian through and through. Where are you studying?
UJ.
Oh, cute. Okay.
The university that rejects everybody.
For some reason, I was put on a waiting
For some reason, they took me. So yeah.
No, because I was put on a waiting list for the longest time at UJ, and then they rejected me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
And when was this? Was this year?
No, it wasn't this year. It was a long time ago. Just like
okay. How old are you? So I know I'm not talking to a babe. I've been talking to babies this year.
I'm so old. I'm 22. I'm turning 22 this year. How old are you?
I'm older than you. No way. I'm older than you. You're a baby. You're a child.
I'm not a child. I'm a fossil.
No, because I can't. I've been talking to first year so many times, and I'm like, guys, I mean, I said that at UJ. Like you're like 18. Stop talking to me.
The gag is, I've like switched so many. Well, I didn't switch degrees many times. So I did psych first, and then I dropped psych, and then I took like 2 gap years. Now I'm doing creative writing, and I'm gonna stick to this one. Like I'm sticking to this one.
My sister, me, UJ, I've been feeling the same thing forever.
What are you doing?
Accounting.
Nice.
I'm doing accounting. So yeah, I took a gap year last year, by the way. So I came back to UJ this year to be like, guys, I'm ready to finish what I started.
Bro, this university thing is tough.
It's not
trapping us. It's trapping all of us, bruh.
It's giving us flames, man.
Flames. I'm just ready to be done. Like I'm ready.
Are you going to uni in Cape Town also?
I'm studying through UNISA, so I'm flexible. So like my thing is, if I get a job somewhere that like pays, because I also want to work, but I want to work in the creative industry, like with writing and stuff, like maybe copywriting and stuff like that. And if I get a job that says, "Oh, come to Joburg," like I'm flexible.
Come to Joburg. That's what the creative things are. Come to Joburg.
But Cape Town is nice. It's just that it's very expensive here. That's
okay. Actually, not Joburg. I feel like PTA more or less, because Joburg is unnecessarily expensive with rent and stuff also.
Really?
Yeah. It's not. And then like look at me. This room, I pay an arm and a leg for this tiny room.
My sister, it's face brick.
Yeah, I know, but I pay an arm and a leg, so I wouldn't want that.
No, that's the same with Cape Town. Like
I know Cape Town prices are like 20K. I'm seeing someone
for student accommodation, bruh. For student accommodation. my thing is, where are you expecting students to get that? We're literally students. Where are we going to get 20K for an accommodation?
Cape Town is crazy. Cape Town is crazy.
That's why I say Jonas must come to Cape Town. It caters for them. It caters for them. It caters
I
for
think the best hitting place in South Africa, it's definitely PTA. I feel like PTA, they have it hidden so well. Like, it's beautiful. It has nice places. It's cheap, but also
Joburg. Into PTA once, to be honest with you. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like, I know I wanted to go to UP, and then they were like, "Oh, the suicide rates there are high," and I was like, "Oh, okay, no."
But it's nice, like accommodation wise. I think it's nice also for the fact that it's very close to Joburg, so you have access to Joburg if you live in PTA.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know if I can do without the beach. Like, I'm a Cape Town girly. I don't know if I can do without the beach.
Some of us have lived our own life without beaches, my sister. Vacation. We see the money go on vacation.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I don't know how people live in Cape Town. It's such a holiday spot. And I get that. Because that's how I feel about Durban. Like, how are you living in Durban?
I also don't understand Durban people.
I genuinely don't understand how you can live in that place. It's like, why? How?
I went to Durban like twice last year, and I'm like, I don't see it as a living space. I'm so sorry to them.
No, I don't see it as a living space. But people say that about Cape Town. And they say, like, we're slow here. I want to see Joburg. I want to experience the fastness of Joburg. And see
Joburg, my sister. Come to Joburg.
How old are you? Didn't say.
I'm turning 23 this year.
Literally. You were like, oh, I'm older than you.
I am. I'm a year older than you.
Yeah.
You're the same age as my best friend, but you're like just babies.
No, that's how I feel about 21-year-olds, so don't worry. Like,
yes! No, the gag is I live with first years, so
2007.
Yo, they're so young. They're so young.
Jonas, how old are you?
I'm 30. Yeah, I'm 30. Yeah.
Damn.
Huh?
I said, damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean that.
Sorry. So, we have something to watch. It's in the chat.
That's good.
I will not say it's a rough cut because literally I was just dumping in the voiceover and putting some video. So next time we will get back to it. But we can watch it, right? But let's put our expectations where they belong. We just put in the edit and then we gotta work next time to really edit it. Because right now, but we watch it. And last thing we do is just save the project. That's always important to, save project and then we can close that. Let's watch it.
Okay.
So you can just open the drive because I don't think you have audio when I watch it. But I will also watch it. So I will watch it with you. We can just press play together.
Okay, let's just mute. No.
Okay. I'm very excited.
Gained 12 followers. Commented on...
Can you hear it or not? You can. Okay, cool. Yeah, amazing. So let's just watch it. I thought you couldn't have the audio. So
I've posted 3 times today. Gained 12 followers. Commented on 27 posts. And still, nothing has changed. Yesterday, I wandered this new neighborhood again. The rain had been building all day. You could feel it in the air, that heaviness. When it finally broke, I stood under that old bookstore awning on 9th Street. Watched everyone scatter, no umbrellas, no preparation. I took a video of the downfall. 42 likes so far. Someone from home commented, "Looks magical." It wasn't. It was just water falling while I stood there, watching strangers rush past, wondering if anyone would notice. notice if I just disappeared. My phone kept buzzing, weather alerts, messages, and group chats I barely participate in anymore. The screen glowed brighter as the sky darkened. Funny how being constantly connected makes the silence between notifications feel that much louder.
I think it's a success. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
I
really
love
like it. And I think there's a certain rawness
I
that
think it's
is
really good.
right, that is beautiful. And I think we could create a bit more footage to support what we want to say. And I have some suggestions. Do you want to hear them?
Yes.
So I think it would be very nice to, after that rain shot, to have like fade in to like an eye that is scrolling. And you see like the mirroring of the screen inside the eye. So we're very close to the subject. And and then we go like, you know, the slow voiceover telling, and we see maybe even the reflection of the phone and the pupils. And then we just listen. And we see this act of passive consumption. So that would be my idea, that we focus on a shot on the eye. And I will even show you a reference which is from Goodfellas intro. And it's by Michael Ballhaus. It's
to me.
Oh, I think you've showed me those.
Yeah.
The other time when I showed you back from. Yeah.
Of the United States. Even before I.
Yeah, so we take a shot like this, and then kind of have that duration long so that the person can like really hear the voiceover. And we don't show any other scenes, we just have the pupil and the scrolling, and then
okay, I'll try to do.
If that suits also your idea of the film, like it was just an input, right? You can like do whatever you want, but like that was
yeah, but I appreciate the input, and I'll work on it. If I'm able to do it, then I'll send it to you.
Yeah, and then maybe if you find other things like still life of the interior of the room or something, like, you know, where you can see the silence of the space and the room. And yeah, it was so much fun today with you, I must say. Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
It was super fun.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Thank you for your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Thank you for your art.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I don't want to keep you longer if you have stuff to do tomorrow and so on. And then,
okay.
Yeah, but that was really great to watch. And
thank you for that.
Yeah, maybe we do that. Like
that was super helpful.
Yeah, it would be nice to continue next Thursday if you want. Like, okay. And if not, then we just find a different time.
Busy, come again next Thursday. Let's